Hey guys, Bray here from TGS with a Microsoft Flight Simulator video. Going to be flying from Cancun International, MMUN, to Tampa International, KTPA, through Hurricane Ida 2021 in a Cessna CJ4. As you can see, we're slightly to the right of the eye, as based on the amount of time I have for this flight, I couldn't go any longer. I would have liked to go somewhere up around here, but to go for a reasonable time, we're going to do Cancun to Tampa. As you can see, we're going to be well within the storm. We're going to kind of go through the outer bands into the thickness over in this side, and eventually we'll make it out into Tampa. So we'll spend a lot of time in the actual storm. We'll be just north of Cuba, where it just recently passed. I actually flew there on a separate video/live stream at night at 1 in the morning. It was just pitch black, but we successfully made it in a Cessna 152. But I decided to do the CJ4 today for time's sake. I'm more of an amateur for this one. I've only flown it a few times, but we will see what happens.
Tower Cessna Tango Golf Sierra ready at runway.
Alright, Cancun's not looking too shabby.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra altimeter 29.88.161.
But we are kind of right outside the storm.
Cleared for takeoff runway 12 right.
Flown this a few, handful of times at most. I usually fly the 152 or the DA40NG. But to make this more reasonable, we're gonna try and use this. If I get some speed alerts, I'm sorry, but I like to haul ass. You gotta watch your speed more in these faster aircraft, and the 152 you can keep it max throttle the whole time and make it where you're going. Here we go. I'm gonna run 70% power. I don't like to go up too high. Alright, so let's turn. Got 487 nautical miles to travel, so it's gonna be quite a long flight.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra, did you copy?
You can kind of see the clouds thickening up out there. Just to show you guys the view. Here's Cancun. ATC, calm down. The co-pilot should be responding back. I swear every time I try to record a video, they start calling me out, but I had it set up where the co-pilot does all that stuff. Either way, I'm just going to focus on the flight. We're already up at 6,500. I don't know how high up I want to go. We're just literally flying over the Gulf pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead. Start to use trim here.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra, acknowledge last transmission.
Thankfully it's the last transmission. Co-pilot dude, who's invisible inside the cockpit, but visible from outside. You need to respond, bro. Trying to get the trim to agree with me here. "75% of the trip will probably be cockpit view." Alright, seems like it's not too far off.
ATC services terminated. Good day.
Dropping to 65% power. by Cancun. I've never been in real life, but we'll make it someday. Beyond the spring break age, so I'll wait till after the party's over. Go when it's nice and calm. As you can see, there's pretty much nothing but open Gulf here, but as we get further out there, we have a lot of land to cover. Up to 60% power. Trying to maintain my airspeed in a reasonable position.
Overspeed, overspeed, overspeed. Landing gear, landing gear.
I just tapped the flap to. How much power do we got to run this at to keep from overspeed?
United 1052, follow the aircraft on final. Wind 161 at 10. Clear to land.
I used to fly in the CJ4. We've done quite a few flights in it, but as I advised, usually in the faster aircraft, I tend to go way too fast and get overspeed. Which never happens in my, DA-40NG, for example. But that's a much slower aircraft by every and all means. Pulling up a little bit. I feel like we're going down. That's why we're gaining speed. Trimming this game on a controller is definitely kind of a pain in the ass. You're always battling it to try and get that level out. You hear me clicking the trim inside the plane there, the clicking noise.
Tower American 24225 miles, northwest inbound 4DME 1 runway.
Bye, Mexico.
American 2422 tower. Altimeter 29er.9er, tree, wind 161 at 10. Cleared 4DME, 1 runway, 12 right approach.
Definitely interested to see what the conditions get like once we actually get to the storm.
4DME, 1 runway, 12 right.
Pretty sure we had a nice chunk of space before we got to the actual hurricane.
29er.9er, tree, wind 161 at 10. Cleared 4DME, 1 runway, 12 right approach. American 2422, follow the generic on final. Wind 161 at 10. Cleared to land runway 12 right. Southwest 612 number 2 for landing. Follow the generic on final. Wind 161 at 10. Cleared to land runway 12 right.
Cleared to land runway 12 right, American 2422.
Rather be climbing than going down, especially as we head into the storm where visibility will drop pretty low.
Runway 12 right, number 2 Southwest 612.
Appreciate the like, by the way. This plane's constantly battling me on the trim. It likes to go up or down. It does not like to stay flat. Usually we can get it pretty steady in the 152. I just got to practice flying this, so this is a prime example of a practice flight in it.
Go around.
Take a look around, take it all in. There's, I'm pretty sure, where like your flight books and snacks and shit would be. Back in the back is my passengers who are going home from Cancun to Tampa through the hurricane. I was like, yeah, I fly, guys. No problem. Gonna check a flight map in a moment. You can see the clouds are starting to thicken up. Let us see. Just gonna open up my local radar. My real life city, it's a crappy rain kind of day. Yeah, pretty much flying out of Cancun, we definitely have some time before we hit the actual storm. There's a nice gap of quite some space, but you can definitely see it thickening up. We just got to get to the storm. We could see it on the map when we were selecting the map. That whole area was just crazy full of hurricane cloud. We weren't going through the eye, but I'd say we were within 50% of the radius of the eye for part of this flight. So I usually like to sit in the cockpit, but we can't see much up here. There's not much to do, just sitting here chilling in the sky. But we'll definitely be in cockpit for landing and all that stuff. We can get the overspeed screaming, the scary touchdown. The 152, it really pushed you on landing, so when you got to low power and put the wheels down, you'd start like going sideways across the entire runway just from the wind trying to touch down. It was pretty wild. There's like no clouds back there, and you can just see it's picking up. And there's some real tall clouds coming up there. Doing good on fuel. Got 443 nautical miles to go. See, we're making some progress here. I think if we fly 300 nautical miles, we'll get an achievement. So we might get an achievement for this. Every time we start dipping down, I just adjust the trim. We've been hovering around a really good speed. Put up to 50% on the engines. Let's see that nautical mile change. Yeah, we're jumping pretty good. Wants us to be right around 3195 feet when we get there. Sure, eventually we'll start getting some turbulence and some rain and hopefully all that good stuff. It's the whole point of flying through the storm. You can definitely see the heavy, big cloud cover that we're about to go through soon. It's about an hour and a half flight. Like, it's going to take at least up to a half hour just to get out to the storm, and then we'll probably spend a good half hour to an hour in the actual storm before we break out on the edge, head into Tampa. I'd have to check real-life Tampa conditions right now. We can get an idea of what's going on down there. So let's check. Tampa, Florida, rain, flash flood warning. Oh, never mind, that was my city. Tampa Bay is clear. Yeah, Tampa's all in the good right now, so when we go to land into Tampa, it should be pretty clear, just like we took off out of Cancun. So we're literally landing and taking off in clear conditions. We're just flying through the storm, per se. It's a pretty awesome looking plane. Millions and millions of dollars type of plane. Let's see what a CJ4 costs. CJ4 price. $9.2 million for a new CJ4. Shoo. If you're gonna fly for up to 200 hours a year, it's $660K to $980K. Quite expensive to purchase and own, that is for sure. Not wait till we actually make it to the storm. But being such a long flight, as mentioned, it'll definitely take a while before we're there. Might as well just chill and enjoy the flight. Almost getting down the, rain. I don't know how far away we were from the storm, according to the actual map, but we definitely had a lot of land to cover before we hit the actual hurricane storm. I feel like you could see the clouds, though, thickening up straight ahead on the left. They're getting closer. So eventually, start making our way through the storm. Definitely interested to see how it goes. There's not much to say on these long flights. They're just literally traveling for a very, very long time. So we are live streaming while we're also recording this for possible videos. So feel free to post in chat. Just about 10,000, almost 500 in the sky. We're holding pretty steady right now. I'm not going to mess with anything. Officially under 400 nautical miles out. Definitely feel like you can see a band of clouds. It's getting ever so closer here. Things looking good. Showing right around 50%. wonder if we can find a calculator online. 390 nautical miles at 280 knots. .280 knots is basically 280 nautical miles per hour, so you guys know. So having to travel 388.67 divided by what we're running 283.5, I guess, right now. This is about 1.37, so we got like a hour and 20 minutes left, which was exactly, honestly, our goal for this flight. So we're right on par for ending right around where I want to for the live stream and the video length. We're not in the storm yet. Didn't do my Instagram post for today, so I'm gonna do that while we're doing this, just because there's not much else to really do while we're cruising the skies here. .377.84 nautical miles to go. Storm getting ever so closer right here. Looks amazing, to be honest. Also technically breaking my usual sit in the cockpit view for flight here, because you can see the storm way better in exterior view. Alright. We're definitely conquering the trip pretty quickly, just the fact thereof we're covering a lot of land. So flying from Cancun to Tampa was quite a journey. I think we're getting close to 500 nautical miles, but we covered over 100 and some already. Like a half hour. So I think we'll reach there in about an hour and like 15 real life minutes. But we're about to hit the outer bands of the hurricane soon. They're slowly getting closer. It looks pretty damn mean. You can see the clouds right there are pretty ridiculous. Not there yet, but we're getting close. It's gonna get ugly out here, but we should be able to push on through with a CJ4. Made it in a 152. Flying a CJ4 should be much easier in these conditions. chill in the cockpit for a bit, just hang out. If you look straight out, you can see it's getting pretty thick up there. So far we have like no turbulence from this whatsoever. Flying through the hurricane, it's definitely quite a clear trip so far. Can't wait to actually get into the storm momentarily. Just realized we have a lot of land to still cover. It was the closest airport I could get to get across the Gulf here. There's the storm right there though. Getting ever so closer, we're almost in the hurricane. 349 nautical miles will be in Tampa. Cancun is definitely like 100 some nautical miles behind us, so Mexico is no longer visible. Just us and Hurricane Ida, pretty much. That's what's about to go down. I swear it's going to take forever to get into the actual storm though, where it looks like it's there, but it's taking a very long time to get to it. Shout out to McMaster, and I do a lot of shorter trips. Just today I want to fly through the hurricane, so I kind of based the whole session on this, which I hopefully drop as a video as well. Flew out of Cancun going to Tampa. It's a good hour-and-a-half flight in this plane. I now want to fly like a 152 because it would have taken the entire like afternoon. Usually I don't fly the CJ4 much, but I'm pretty happy with it right now. We're cruising pretty nice. Basically just crossing the whole Gulf. Yeah, I flew through the hurricane last night while I was a bit weaker in a small aircraft. No problem at 1 in the morning in pitch black conditions. It was literally, the screen was just pitch black with the cockpit light on for like a whole hour of the flight. And lightning flashing every few seconds amongst the clouds. But doing a day flight today so we can actually take in the view and actually see what's going to go down. Which is pretty mean clouds coming up, if you can't tell. It looks amazing though. Look at that. We're about to be in there pretty soon. I feel like we're getting into the outer band of the clouds here. You can see them starting to get closer and closer. This is what we've been waiting for. Look at the meanness of the clouds, dude. Multiple layers. Getting real close. This is going to be crazy. Oh my god. Is that wind picking up in the sound of the game? Shout out to our mod J Smoke. What's up, man? For anyone who tunes in live, we're recording a flight from Cancun to Tampa, about an hour and a half in the CJ4 aircraft, about just under $10 million real private jet. And yeah, luckily I got it for free in the game. And here's Hurricane Ida, the real Hurricane Ida. It's August 28th, 2021, and we're after flying like 160 nautical miles from Cancun of beautiful open ocean, we're finally, or Gulf I should say, we're finally here. It is here. Look at this. This is fucking mean. Taking a screenshot with Elgato, because this is the last time I did with my Xbox, like, freaked out. I'm gonna try taking a pic with my Xbox, hopefully it doesn't shut my engines off. Screenshot, back out. I think when I did it before and it screwed up when I took a screenshot and the engine shut off, I must have clicked something else. But look at that. I had to take a screenshot because how often are you going to get to see clouds stack like this? Gotta check the gauges. We're not being pushed to a sideways tangent line yet. We're all the way down to almost, we're getting near 300 nautical miles out. We've covered almost 200 nautical miles. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get an achievement for covering like 300 nautical miles on this flight. If we don't die in the hurricane, obviously. It is mean looking out there, yo. I want to take a picture of this, like this, too. If I hold it still, I think it goes away, the little dot. Oh my god, the lightning! Wow. Sorry to take screenshots, but how often do you get to see this, man? Woo! We're going in. This is one mean looking storm, man. We've flown in, I flew in Hurricane, was it Hurricane Gloria, like a week or two ago that hit Mexico. We flew down the coast in the storm and we flew in the eye of it. It looked nothing like this. This is the real deal. This destroys everything we just witnessed in every way possible. Oh my god, the storm. Holy poop. So basically the eye of the storm's right to our left out here, but we're traveling slightly to the right of the eye, but we're going through, we're like maybe 50% from the center of the circle and between that and the radius of the circle. It's like 1/2 the radius out by the time we hit the center of the storm, and we got a lot of time to cover in the storm, guys. I'm pretty sure we're going to be in the storm all the way down to the last like 50 to 100 nautical miles, so we're going to be covering at least a half hour to an hour of hurricane flight time here. This is going to be the real deal. This is what we've been waiting for. Shoo! Look at that, guys. Probably going to be taking a bunch of little clips and screenshots here. Why? Because the odds of seeing this happen, definitely not the highest. It is possible to find hurricanes in the game, but look at this. Everyone hang on. Shit's about to go down. Mean storm, man. I want to like get into it. Kind of tangentialize a little bit here so we can aim towards going towards the storm a little bit more. You see that rainbow down there? The fucking rainbow. Taste the rainbow. Oh my god. It's the most amazing flight sim experience I've had yet. Holy shit. I knew I was gonna fly into a storm. This is absolutely amazing. We need weather like this in other games like GTA. Just imagine like a hurricane hits. The roads like start flooding and stuff. I flew in some crazy weather in this game. This just beats everything. I think the tropical storm I flew in New England, where I couldn't see more than like 10, like literally like 100, like 100 feet out or something, was the worst because I could barely see the runway when we came in for a landing, but I was flying at 152. I feel like it's a little bit more manageable. Not because of the winds, but because of the speed of it. Yeah, it might be Hurricane Ida. If I'm butchering it this entire time, it is what it is. Actually, look it up so I can stop butchering it, if that's the case. It was Bear mispronouncing words again. So apparently in European languages it's Ida, but in America they said Ida. No lie, look it up. I'm pretty sure that's what it's saying online. Because I looked it up just because I was curious, and apparently it says the European pronunciation is Ida rather than Ida. So Ida if you live in the US, Ida if you live in Europe. So I've been pronouncing it the European style, so don't worry. It's not completely incorrect. Dude, look at this fucking storm. It's one of the meanest things I've ever seen. We're gonna correct ourselves shortly, but I wanted to get more out into the storm. Alright, went down a little bit too much, too quickly. Tip the nose up so we can... I didn't want to go up in the clouds, I'm trying to stay below them. Welcome, guys, to the hurricane. It's flipping me out about landing gear, but I'm slowing us down because we're trying to decline to get into this down like here. Holy shit. This is crazy, man. I gotta record a clip of me flying into this. I hate to keep pausing it, but I need some videos of this. as well as clips. I mean screenshots. I know I'm tangentializing a little bit, but how could we not fly this way and check this out? We're still making a distance on our destination. We're just on a tangential line to it. I feel like, see those clouds straight ahead where it gets really thick, where we're heading towards? Maybe once we get there, we'll start adjusting. But I'm breaking off from the straight line path to come over here. So I'm going to get to 55% power here. So pick up speed, we should raise. Nose will automatically go up, slowing down our drop in altitude. This is awesome to answer chat. This is what I was looking for when I was trying to do a flight into a hurricane. Like, that's what I want to get into, yo. That's what I want to get to. That's what I'm trying to get to. We're not getting as close to Tampa as I'd like, but this is totally worth the extra time in my view. I'm willing to, you know, start our next stream, push it 15 more minutes or whatever to check this out. So far, I'm not really getting much turbulence. We're not getting beat up yet. I'm so glad I decided to do this today, because I was like, do I fly into the hurricane? Do I wait till it gets stronger? This or that. Doing pretty good. Here we go, guys. This is it. Crossing the line. Ah! Look at this, dude. We gotta go up and through that hole. It's like a video game challenge. Shoo! Wow. Look at this, man. Holy crap. I want to get a screenshot and a video. Record. Capture screenshot. I think it's time for us to correct our... Why we're dropping so quickly. I just floored it so we can get up to power. Or up to speed. Don't want to drop in this storm, man. We made it so far. Alright, we're going to go ahead and make... Because we are in the storm now. It's not a question of if we are in the storm or not. We're in the storm. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to our destination, which is basically we got to fly through this for, honestly, probably 100 plus nautical miles. But I feel like over this way it's not as mean looking, but I take it back because you can see that it's still pretty thick over there as well.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
But only landing gear is just temporary flat pit to ensure we don't overspeed. Alright. We're gonna begin our approach. Trying to mess with the trim to get the nose down a little bit. What a view, though. Right, we don't want to get too low. We had to get down to the, you know, stay out of the upper clouds here so we could see this. I'm going to probably stay at this height for the rest of the flight, but I'm just fighting the trim right now. Try and get us even. Trim is always a battle on a controller for sure. I'll let it sit for a sec. I'm watching the. Gonna pull back up on the trim. Again. Just gonna have to watch the altitude from here. You can see we're not going down too much. I'm waiting to see if this trim evens us out. It is. It's gonna start going back up though. Well, it is because we're in high airspeed, so our nose is naturally tipping up to gain altitude and reduce speed. You can hear the wind. The problem is the wind and all is not like affecting us very much. I don't know if we have to be down below the cloud level, but I'd much rather be up here where it looks amazing. Well, Tampa, here we come. We've covered over 200 nautical miles in this flight from Cancun to Tampa so far, and I swear like 100 plus, over 100 nautical miles were just open, beautiful, clear Gulf of Mexico. And then we finally saw the storm, we finally got into it. And honestly, I'd much rather have been flying in this the whole time. Unfortunately, the storm didn't expand all the way down there. Well, fortunately in real life and unfortunately in the game. Let's put it that way. Wouldn't want the storm going over anything. Unfortunately, it's heading towards the coast now, so. It's one mean effing storm, man. It's my first experience with weather like this in flight sim, and it's absolutely amazing. We're traveling pretty quickly too. We're traveling pretty close to airspeed. I feel like we're getting tailwinds. Because we were at the same power level. Oh god. We're getting pushed up. We're getting pushed up. I repeat, we're getting pushed up. Shoo! What was that? Out of nowhere, the plane just started climbing. We got fucking hit by some winds or something, man. I'm gonna try and let the plane naturally get itself comfortable right now, but I feel like the storm's starting to kick in. We're starting to feel it a little bit more in the aircraft. It's definitely messing with my speed, and it's messing with my wing tilt. Not as bad as it probably would be in real life, but still. Gonna have to increase the trim again. Well, decrease, I should say. There's the Gulf of Mexico down there, looking real nice. Look at the quality of the H2O. .231 nautical miles out from our destination. It's a giant storm. You just see how mean it is. They're eventually expecting us in Tampa, so we'll get there. We'll get there. Our wing's gonna touch the cloud. It's like over that way you can almost see like the escape from the storm. As we get closer to our destination, I'm pretty sure it's clear weather in Tampa right now, so we won't have rain when we get there. We're traveling much faster than we were initially, so we're gonna gain some time here. Only at 50% power, and we're traveling close to red. Wind is pushing us to the left a little bit. hands down the coolest flight sim session I've had so far. Oh god, yo, the wind, the wind. I'm not touching anything. It's bringing me up. I think we're getting so much tailwind and gusts of wind that it's literally speeding us up and we're gaining altitude out of nowhere. That's the second time we had a random spurt of altitude increase. Now we're going back down again. I'm gonna let the plane, it's gonna complain about it. It's gonna get close to overspeed and adjust itself. It might complain about overspeed for a second, but I'm not gonna touch it.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
I had to touch it because it's a little bit slow.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Flapped it.
Landing.
The winds there are definitely messing with us, so I'm gonna flap it. I don't wanna. The game will be like, you broke the plane after an hour flying straight. It's supposed to be an hour and a half flight. Where I think we're getting close to an hour right now. We've been in this storm for quite some time. It is mean. I'm going to drop our engine to 45% because of the amount of wind we're getting pushed by in here. This in real life would be crazy dangerous to answer chat. I don't think they would legally allow you to reasonably fly into this, but I guess it's in international territory, so. Sure we're gaining altitude instead of losing here. If you're over the Gulf, we do not want to go down into the Gulf. Especially when we're 205 nautical miles out from our destination. You can see we're going along pretty good. I'm gonna try 47% on the engine. The nose keeps wanting to dip down. Have to adjust the trim again. Don't really want to go any lower than 7,000 if I can keep it that way. So we're right in a perfect height. We're still in the hurricane, but it seems like the dark clouds are dissipating over there. And we're heading into the other bands. Eventually we were going to cross through, so I'm pretty sure, oh god.
Overspeed.
What's going on?
Landing here.
We got hit with a wind gust and got overspeeded out of nowhere. And I'm dropping back down to 45%. You can see the plane going nuts. It's really not that bad, but imagine if it was just like that the entire time. You're just fighting the plane. It's probably more realistic to what it would be like flying in this, to be honest. It won't be a nice cruise in the sky. You'll be holding on and holding tight, making sure you don't let go of that joystick. Or wheel. Yeah, it depends what you're flying. Finally under 200 nautical miles out. We're on the way, Tampa. We're on the way. Goodbye, storm. It was nice flying in you. Definitely quite the experience in every way possible. But we have a destination to get to. See, it's much calmer out here. Just trim again to make sure we don't start going down. Well, this whole flight, the landing is going to be the sketchiest, but I'm pretty sure Tampa's weather is going to be clear. We're literally going to pull out. We entered from Cancun's beautiful clear skies on the Gulf into the worst part, or one of the worst parts of the stream. I obviously steered into the storm on purpose there so we could experience more crazy dark clouds, but and now we're basically on the other side. Got some turbulence right there. Putting us up to 47% again. We were flying at 50% for a majority of the flight, so I think we can go back. Doing good on fuel. You can definitely hear the wind. Just under 180 nautical miles to go, traveling 280, so you can imagine that it's going to take under an hour to get there. I'll do the math real quick on my phone. $78 divided by 282. 38 minutes. Should be a touchdown. Should be perfect for the stream purposes, the video purposes, all that stuff. Taste the rainbow below, by the way. Gotta get a picture of that. Definitely a picture-worthy moment right there. A pot of gold somewhere down there, man. There's another rainbow there. What the hell's going on around here? Rainbows. Coming Tampa. Traveled over, I'm pretty sure we traveled 300 nautical miles already. I'd say when we get to like under 100 nautical miles, we'll probably start leaving the storm and get to the clear skies that Tampa is surrounded by right now. Pretty sure it's a really hot day in Tampa, but it's not storming to my knowledge. Check the weather channel just to be sure, at least the app. Seems clear for the landing should be pretty smooth. Hopefully. You can see it's starting to separate up here. I think we're going to be stuck in the outer bands and all that stuff for quite some time before we actually escape it. Here it's still a very mean storm out here. You can see the Gulf down below. On the way. Going pretty well right now. There's not much else to say. We're just cruising. It is crazy out here. Sorry for being quiet, but when we're flying for over an hour, not much else we could say. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
What was the game doing? It threw me in the overspeed.
Landing gear.
I just threw the flaps on max because I don't know what the fuck's the game's doing. What is going on? Oh my god, this is nothing like we were just flying in. This is at 41,000, yo. I was flying down in the actual storm at about 7,000 to 8,000 and we were enjoying the clouds. This is what it's like up here. I'm not touching anything. What is going on? We're fucking dancing right now. Well, I'm glad we basically skipped the whole climb up here and the game just put us up here. So for sacrificing an achievement, we're getting to experience what is going on up here in the actual storm. This is crazy. We're gonna go up to like 45%, I think. This is crazy. We did not experience this down below. I'm gonna record this real quick. I'm honestly kind of glad we lost it there. Because what the hell? Whee! It's like riding some waves up here. So we got to take in the beauty of the clouds down under 10K altitude, and now we're experiencing it at 40 plus. I can't lie, like it almost was meant to happen. I was gonna fly, yeah, my whole point of when I accelerated and we quote unquote failed according to the game was to climb altitude and get above the clouds to see what's going on up here. And apparently up here it's f***ing crazy. There's so much turbulence right now, we're like a f***ing whale swimming through the ocean. I'm not even touching anything. The plane's definitely not happy right now. This is why you don't fly in hurricanes in these. Well, 132 nautical miles to go. Wow. Look at the, if you look at the trim, guys, the trim is going fucking nuts. I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching the trim, not doing nothing. Yeehaw, man. What the f, man? It's amazing. Like a fucking narwhal or something. Do. Sorry for background noise. I actually opened up the Xbox app and it opened up the video I took earlier of us flying through the storm. Eventually this video will hit our channel. I mean, not our channel, our Xbox feed. Alright, this is crazy. I might try to lower altitude a little bit. It's almost worth staying up here just to experience the the ocean ride. I love how the vibe we're getting right now is so different than when we were down below. Down below, we were like in the calm portion, but the clouds were been beautiful down there. You can't lie. Like it's been the most crazy flight ever. We've done over 300 nautical miles with the game, quote unquote, screwing me over. But did it really? This witnessing this is absolutely worth having to reload back in due to that quote unquote crash. I wish they would at least let you overstress the engines and at least let the engine die. Let me like land in the ocean, in the Gulf. Let me touch down and do a water landing. If it's, you know, realistic emergency, it doesn't matter if you overstress the damn engine or whatnot. As long as the aircraft's intact, you're still going to try and glide down to a safe landing. You're not just going to insta perish in the sky in the blink of an eye. We're technically going down without even trying to. I'm going to increase to 50% power. What happens if I go to 65% power? It's not really making a difference. So airspeed, if you look, is just kind of stuck. We'll stick at 65 for now. Dropping down to 40%. I'm fighting so hard to get the nose down, yo. Woo! This is fucking violent. That's turbulence, so you guys know.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
I don't need landing gear, man. We're at 31,000 up. Calm down. I'm just flapping to max and then to get us prevent high speed ending to our flight. I'm trying to drop. We've dropped about 7,000. We're still up here in the oh god. The storm's pushing me up, yo. Like crazy. It's pushing me up like crazy. I'm fighting. I'm fighting to go down. Holy shit. We're running like 35% power and we can't even fight the storm. trying to get down because I don't like, I don't want to sit here bombing around like a whale for the last 100 nautical miles. We're gonna get landing gear requests soon if I flap it, but I'm trying to drop.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Max flapped.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Alright, I'm gonna let go. You gotta be kidding me. I literally let go and the storm killed us. It just killed us. It literally just killed us. How far out were we?
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Our engines are at 23%. Alright, we're back at 98.71, and this time it's not bouncing us around. I don't know what's going on, but is whatever at this point.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Kind of annoying how it keeps calling for landing gear. I'm gonna drop the engines down to like 15% to decline altitude naturally. What does it complain about? Cabin. Cabin different pressure? Oh God. How do we fix the pressure? Ah. Down to 88.51 nautical miles. Slowly letting it, drop altitude by running 15% on the engines. I think I'm gonna try for 20%, see if we still continue to descend. That was one hell of an experience, though. I really wish we didn't F it up and we had a full on the way there. Part of me wants that, but part of me is really happy that happened, because we got to experience the chaos of what happened there. I'll have to, next legit flight sim session, that's a whole afternoon, I'll just, I'll do some long flight. Make sure we cover, 300 plus nautical miles in a fast aircraft like this, and do something a little bit more interesting. Try and fly, through the hurricane was fun, but try and do like an actual, sightseeing one. You try and fly past the pyramids, or fly through Europe. Fly the Hawaii Islands. I'm sure we could figure something out. Okay, we're like an hour, 20 minutes into this flight with 2 resets at this point. But we're almost through the hurricane. So we'll get no achievement for traveling 300 plus nautical miles in one go, because the damn plane broke from me trying to increase the acceleration back there further back in the storm. But otherwise, not the worst run ever. We're only 77 nautical miles out from Tampa. It was well worth flying through the hurricane, though. That was quite the experience. That was probably hands down my most awesome flight sim experience yet, including even though we had to load back in twice due to aircraft failure. We're descending pretty good. Eventually I'll pick my engine speed up. But I think we're good right now on our descent. Going back up to higher speed to see if we can gain some speed here and quicken up this trip. I'll stay in lower speed because while we were back there in the hurricane conditions, the higher speed caused us to basically just get killed. Because once we added more power, the storm just shoved us up in the air. The plane wanted to go straight up in the sky. The winds wanted to send up straight up in the sky, and I think that just is why it failed us that time. We quote unquote stressed the aircraft out too much, but I mean, I guess I can understand. Going max speed and dealing with a hurricane all at once. Even at 50% power, I'm having a lot of trouble gaining airspeed up here. It's like slowly going up. Still descending as well. And we're not getting warnings anymore, by the way, so. Dropping power to 45%.
Southwest 5574, you are 9 or 4 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 6 approach via traffic transition. Clear to drop. Southwest 5574, you are 9 or 2 miles northwest of Fort Myers. Contact tower on 128.7 flight when inbound.
I feel like it's starting to like calm down more and more as we get further out here.
Tower on 128.75 southwest.
Dropping engine speed so we can lose some altitude quicker.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
You can feel the resistance for sure on the descent here, but we need to go down. I think we're pretty good at around 10. So we're only 52.74 out. Just can't let go of the that's how we failed a moment ago. I think we let go and we had too much speed. Gently let off. Louis said, why does it say 0 feet and 48 nautical miles? Are we just going in on a direct approach right now, or we didn't need to line up? That could be the case. We're down to about 28,000 right now. See, it's still thundering. This is still the hurricane this whole time. been a pro and con kind of trip, but I'm glad we got to experience the worst of the hurricane and had some fails rather than a flawless, unbumpy flight. The most chaotic part of the storm is long gone. And see, I think that's Florida right there, guys. I think it's Florida. Doing pretty good. We're going to have to get down a little bit faster.
Landing here. Landing here. Landing.
Southwest 379er tree or 29er miles north. Climb and maintain 2,700 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 approach via Papa India Echo transition. Clear to Papa India Echo.
Landing here. Landing here.
Descend and maintain 2,700 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 approach via Papa India Echo transition. Clear to Papa India Echo.
Another 25% power to fight our airspeed. Pull up a little bit.
Envoy 429ers.
We're about 20,000 up in the sky and about 33.83 out.
600 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 approach via Papa India Echo transition. Clear to Papa India Echo.
Landing here.
Tap the flaps for a sec just to slow us down.
Climb and maintain 3,600 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 approach via Papa India Echo transition. Clear to Papa India Echo Envoy 429er 7. Southwest 379er tree contact Tampa approach on 119.65. Good day.
Landing here. Landing here. Landing here. Landing here.
I'm not there yet. Calm down. The computer like freaks out the second you touch the flaps. What are we going on the 15%? Will that please the plane to let me descend? It's still trying to pull up. All crazy. Why is our trim so crazy? The fuck? Alright, so apparently our trim was just whack back there in the storm. And that's why we were experiencing such horrible fighting there. It's a little bit better now. The airport's right up there, guys. We're 24 nautical miles out.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra contact Tampa approach on 119.65. Good day.
Landing here. Landing here.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra acknowledge last transmission.
Can't see the runway yet. We're about 10,000.
7 contact Tampa approach on 119.65. Good day. .65 for Envoy 429er 7.
We're literally running on like 10% motor right now. Welcome to Tampa. Obviously, what was it, St. Petersburg's right here? Clearwater Airport. St. Petersburg, Clearwater International's right there.
Cessna Tango Golf Sierra, did you copy? Cessna Tango Golf Sierra ATC service is terminated. Good day.
Airport's right there. Problem is, I'm not sure where the runway is that we're looking to land on. I think I see it. Is that a road or a runway? Yo! We just got hit by lightning. Pretty much right there. That was crazy. Dropping to 5% power. Picking back up to 10%.
Landing here. Landing here.
Alright, landing gears down, we're running flaps. Can now see where we actually have to land, but we're also getting pushed by the wind right now. A little bit. Not too bad though. Upping power by 5%. Problem is I don't have a clear runway yet. Once we get a runway lined up, I'll be much better off.
Southwest 1050, contact Tampa departure on 118 decimal 8. Good day. Decimal 8, Southwest 1050.
500.
Miami Center Delta 1514 is at flight level 350 descending.
Can't really see much.
Delta 1514 Miami Center continuous plan. Delta 1514 contact Miami Center on 134 decimal 55. Good day.
I see one runway.
Going to 134 decimal 55, Delta 1514.
Alright, we're coming in.
Miami Center Southwest 5077 is at flight level 390 descending 10,000 feet.
Not the most beautiful landing, but we had a bit of wind pushing us
77 Miami Center continuous plan.
and so forth, but say it went alright. We made it. May not have been the most perfect flight ever, but it was definitely a fun flight. Definitely appreciate if you guys like and subscribe.